everyone. So for this layout today, I went ahead and actually over the course of a couple days over the weekend, I did a little bit of the prep on this layout because otherwise I was afraid it would be ridiculous long. So I took this cut file, which is a free cut file from the Clique Kits shop. It's the cut file that comes in this month's kit. And I also cut my title and watercolored it for my layout. So this layout is going to use the June Clique Kit, and I'm going to take all of these little scraps of paper from backing that floral cut file, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry emboss them along with some of the die cuts to create some texture on my layout. So what I did was, to back that cut file, to create this layout, I just pulled the cut apart sheets from the kit so that I wasn't using a lot, like all of the paper from my kit to back the cut files. And there were 2 cut apart sheets that had lots of lovely different kinds of patterns, so I decided to use those as the basis for my layout. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take these scraps of paper and I'm going to emboss them using my very favorite embossing folder, which is a dot embossing folder from Sizzix. There's tons on the market. I have some floral ones and some different ones, but this is the one I tend to grab all the time. I just love the texture it gives to die cuts and layers. It doesn't take away from the pattern, but it just gives this lovely texture. So I'm taking all these bits and pieces and scraps, and I'm going to go ahead and dry emboss them with this polka dot, Swiss dot, whatever, a dot embossing folder. And I'm going to go ahead and emboss some of the floral die cuts that came in the kit too. This kit primarily includes Cocoa Vanilla Studios Wild at Heart collection. So now that we have all these different elements in place for our layout, let's put them all together. If you have any questions about how I backed the cut file or how I watercolored my title, go ahead and leave any questions you have in the comments, and I'll definitely answer them. I've done both of these things in a number of different process videos, so I decided that I could do it in little tiny bits over the course of an entire weekend and then just film the end result, and that should be good. So what I'm doing here is, you saw me put some white foam underneath that cut file to give it a little bit of lift, a little bit of dimension. We're going to play a lot with dimension on this layout, dimension and texture. So I know where I want this cut file to go, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some Scotch tacky glue on the bottom of it, and I'm going to place it where I would like it to be onto my layout. And then I'm going to use my photos. So this layout and this photo, really, there's no story behind it. This is quite literally just, I was outside and it was gorgeous, and I happened to snap this really beautiful photo of our irises that we have that bloom in our front yard with the bright pink azaleas behind it. And I was just enjoying the colors. And I snapped some photos, and the photos turned out gorgeous. And then I went ahead and I chose my title, which is practically perfect in every way. If you are up on your Disney movies, you know that's a quote from Mary Poppins, which is one of my favorite Disney movies. Mary Poppins, Alice in Wonderland, and Beauty and the Beast. Those are my 3. I liked them as a child and I adore them. I still enjoy watching them and really like them. So I'm all about all of those characters and stories, and just lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all these pieces that I dry embossed, and I'm going to use them to create lovely layers around this photo. And I'm just going to tuck them in here and there till I like the way that they look, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue them down, get them situated. I wanted to definitely fill in kind of like the corner and around my photo. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of tack them down a little bit, make sure I don't lose the placement of where I would like them to be. I hope that in this video you can see the texture that dry embossing provides around the photo. It's quite nice in person. And now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ruffle the edges up around all of these layers, just again to give them some texture and some dimension. I've been really enjoying playing with dimensional adhesives and lots of layers recently. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some of these little pop dots and I'm going to kind of lift up some of the places where the layers are naturally lifting. I'm just popping a pop dot underneath to keep them lifted when I do put them into my album. Give them some natural lift to the page. And I really, really like how this turned out. So this little flower, I want to put it right there, and it kind of went and hid from me, but I'm going to go ahead and get it up. And I believe I pop it up a little bit with a pop dot as well. Yes. So this is a type of layout that doesn't have journaling, that doesn't have, anything like that. It's really just about this gorgeous picture that I took and wanting to create a pretty layout with it. And sometimes that's the layout you make, right? Sometimes it's just about the fact that you snapped a really pretty picture. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my title where I want it. So initially I had kind of been wanting to put it on the other side of the page, but it wasn't going to fit because practically it's quite long. But I also was not willing to sacrifice my watercolor title. So just find a new home for it. So now I'm going through and pulling out the embellishments, both these flowers that I went ahead and dry embossed, and also some other little things that I had gone ahead and pulled from the kit, things that I thought I really liked, sayings I thought I liked, just different things. And I'm going to go ahead and place them around my layout at different spots. So I want to leave that bottom right corner empty because the rest of my layout is so busy that I decided that I wanted to kind of just let that be a little pop of white space for your eye to rest. And at the end I'm going to put a little bit of mist droplets on it, but that's about it. So now I'm just choosing how I want things to interact with each other, where there are little spots that I can tuck bits and pieces and nice things. And I'm going to use my Xyron. I am running out of Scotch tacky glue, and I haven't gotten to buy any yet. So I'm going to use my Xyron to go ahead and add some adhesive to my title and get my title onto my page. So I've gone ahead and adhered my title and all of the little bits and pieces I knew I wanted, and now I'm going to go ahead and go through. I'm going to look at some of the rest of the cut apart sheet that I didn't use in backing my cut file to see if there's any other elements, and I'm going to go through all of the little bits and pieces of the kit. So I thought about putting a date on this with that label, but it looked a little odd. I couldn't find a good place for it. And I'm going to go now through the die cuts. I would like to place something. I feel like there's like a gap there between the title and the start of the cut file. There's like this funny spot here, right there. And I'm thinking I want to put something there. So I'm going to go through the die cuts quick and see if I can find just a little something to kind of tuck in there. And I'm going to decide on this one that says, "You make me happy." And I feel like all of the words that I've used kind of really reflect what my journaling would be. So practically perfect in every way. This makes me happy. You are lovely. Beautiful day. Hello, sunshine. Those would be the type of things I would journal about. And I felt like it was covered with the embellishments I chose. So I don't know about you, but me and the dots on eyes in cut files, useless. I lose them. I lose them every time, you guys. Every time I lose them. So I've learned to go ahead and do some enamel dots or sequins instead to make up for those eyes that I always, always, always lose. So the last little step is some splatters, and I'm using shimmers, colorings in Pink Stiletto. I usually water this particular color down because it is quite saturated, but for this layout it was perfect because the colors in my photo are quite saturated. The colors in the large flower are quite saturated, so I thought that it made a nice statement, a nice finishing touch to this layout. So I'm going to go ahead and do my cleanup thing because I have to clean. and then this layout will be done. I hope you've enjoyed this process video today. Be sure to check out all the awesome projects made with this Clique kit on Instagram, and have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye.